I'll just bring up the model here. So this model suggests that there are 5 critical impacts upon your business that you need to consider. Though, if I start at the top, those are threats of new entrants, the bargaining power of buyers, threat of substitutions, bargaining power of suppliers, and rivalry amongst existing competitors. So lots of jargon there, but let's maybe just try and break that down a little bit. So why is it important, do you think, for you to understand the setup of suppliers in your marketplace? Why is it important for you to know about suppliers? So for instance, if there are relatively few suppliers of your product, so what you need to actually make your product or service, if that raw material is only supplied by a few, then you are effectively in their hands in terms of the price that you pay, because they are the ones that set the price. If you can only go to them to buy your raw material, they can effectively charge you what they want to charge you, and they can dictate the terms on which you pay. So that could be pay immediately rather than give you any kind of terms in terms of paying a month or paying 2 months. So having an understanding of that is really important, because that significantly impacts upon your cash flow, for example. So similarly with buyers then. So again, why is it important to understand how many buyers there are in your market? So very similar. If there's only one buyer of your product, well, again, they're the ones that are going to set the price, not you. You can say, I want £20 for this product, but they'll turn around and say, well, I'm only going to pay you 10. Who else are you going to sell it to? So having an understanding of how many buyers are in your market is really quite critical, both to your profit and loss, to your cash flow, and to your pricing policy. So absolutely critical. Competitors. I mean, again, why would you need to understand about competitors? Well, there may be somebody out there doing the same thing that you're doing, but doing it better. And the implication of that is you could lose market share. You could lose a big chunk of your customers to that particular competitor. You could lose your main customer to your competitor. And if you lose that main customer, that could effectively be the end of your business. So again, understanding who's out there competing with you, the size they are, and the product offering that they do, just helps you think about the strategy that you can put in place for your business. Substitution. So again, that is about, can customers find a different way of doing what they do instead of buying from you? Now that can just simply be buying from somebody else, but it could be that they have always bought something from you that meets a purpose, but technology change has now come in, means that your product is superfluous. It doesn't need to be bought anymore. So if you've done Pestle and had a look at what's happening in the outside world, maybe you would have got ahead of that and made some changes to the way that your product is offered. So having to think about how vulnerable you might be to substitutions, again, is really critical to the way that you market your business. And then the final one is around new entrants. So this is about how easy it is for other people to come into your market and compete. So for instance, if you're very labor intensive and machine intensive, that would be maybe quite difficult for someone just to come in and replicate what you do, would certainly maybe cost them a lot of money. But if it's relatively easy to come in, then you're going to have many competitors. And it might be that you have stolen a march on the market and you are the product leader. But if you're looking like you're successful and making lots of money, I can guarantee you someone's going to come in and start copying that. And if it's relatively easy for them to do, they're probably going to start undercutting you, and then they're going to take in some of your market share. So again, having an understanding of that is absolutely critical.